Hey guys, today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to show you how to check for bottom bracket noise on the bike by derailing the chain on purpose, but through your derailleur here. So all you have to do this, now most of the time we set it up so that the chain doesn't fall off. So you have to unscrew the limit screw here that allows the chain not to fall off. So you have to actually bring it out a bit, okay? And derail the chain on purpose off the first ring. The reason why is because this way you can check for two things. You can check for bottom bracket bearing noises, and you can check how tight your pedals are. You notice here, it's rubbing up against, so I'm going to move it a little bit further out so the teeth don't touch it. There you go, that's a lot better. So now in this mode, we can do this. And we can check for the bike to see if the pedals arms here, the actual cranks, are too tight up against the bearing. So in this case, I think it's pretty good. It's pretty smooth. I don't feel anything. A good trick to feel the noise that's going on in the bottom bracket is to, now that you have the chain derailed, you can spin the pedals. Put your hand here, away from the pedals, and feel the noise with your hands. Okay, it's still pretty good. The next thing is to put your head, or your ear I should say, on this point here. Just put your ear up to the edge here and spin the pedals. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be hearing every single noise traveling up the frame, up to the top of the seat, and bouncing off here. And you can hear it. If there's any little scratching going on, you can hear it very easily. In this case, I think the bottom bracket's still pretty good. There's no rough binding. It's very smooth. So the key to the smoothness, just to let you know, most people say to have this tight, okay, not to have any room, wiggle. Remember, this is cheap hardware, so the tolerances are not that great. So that means that you have to give it a little bit of play, okay, just because of the way the manufacturing is on these things. This is one of those triple ring cranks. So here you go. So I give it just a tiny little movement so that now I have a very smooth movement of the cranks with no rubbing. If you were to tighten this down too hard, it becomes very stiff and very hard to move. You're actually putting extra pressure on the bearings. Okay, now I did a rebearing job on this, so I took out one of the bearing balls was snapped, so I put one of them that I had extra in there, and that fixed the problem, and sealed everything and make sure that there was enough lube in there. This is the key for your bottom bracket to be as smooth as possible. Do not over tighten it. A lot of people say, well, why would you want to do that? Again, don't over tighten it. Another thing, once the chain is off, as the pedals move forward, okay, we're going to stop it here. Notice the distance between here, okay? After you derail the chain, bring your derailleur back and get the chain to line up in the middle of the derailleur. You're trying to see how far off the ring is wobbling. By checking this distance here, you can check how far the ring is wobbling back and forth. So let's look at it. So in this case, yes, it does wobble. Not too much, just a tiny bit amount. So not too bad at all. Wobbling, too much wobbling is not a good thing, because what happens with it is the wobble will be going in and out, and your chain will be touching the derailleur gauge. So make sure that your wobble doesn't deviate too much from the center. Okay, if it does, that's not a good thing. So in this case, it doesn't deviate too much from the center. So I don't have any chain rub, so that's good. So that's it for the bottom bracket. Another quick trick is it's a really important trick. It's how to use the first ring with the top cogs. Now you're going to be cross-chaining, but You're not supposed to do that. Well, you can do that if you push the derailleur, actually index it wrong on purpose, into the higher cogs. This way, you can't use the cogs at the bottom, but you can cross chain more from the first to the top section of the cogs. Now, for mountain climbing, this is perfect. For regular flats, mixed mode, not very good. Don't do that. If you're going to be doing a 50-kilometer climb, go ahead and do that. First ring, and then come back here and index it so that the chain, the derailleur, pushes the chain back here just slightly more. It helps with moving over to the bigger cogs here. Because normally you can't do that. If you index all the cogs, when you go from your first ring to the top cogs, you're going to have cross chain, you're going to have rubbing noise here. So you have to play around with the derailleur. So watch out for that. If you're going to climb, use that trick. Another thing that I wanted to show you was the derailleur itself. Always make sure the derailleur cage is straight, lined up with the cogs as possible. But remember that trick I just talked to you about the climbing. When you do that, if you're going to climb for a long time, yes, go ahead. Set up a bike with your derailleur going up this way, right? To move the derailleur forward, so that the chain is pushing, allowing you to get more cross chain here at the bottom. Okay. So when you look here, it'll be like this, because the derailleur will be out there a bit. And that's it for today. More tips coming. The upcoming tip is going to be a great one. EPO for the bike. We'll go ahead and show you out in the next video how to apply EPO to the bike frame itself and the chain to make it go faster.